Hey everybody, it's Ryan. Let's work on what I'm calling the pre-hook, saying all the dogs' names before we go back into the chorus of the Paw Patrol theme song. It'll look like this. Rubble, Chase, Rocky, Zuma, Sky, yeah, they're on the way. Paw Patrol. So the benefits to this is we are working on our bass lines, and we are going to be able to incorporate some funk guitar string muting elements into this as well. So let's dive right into it. To start, all of these notes are quarter notes, so I recommend that for this part you do all downstrokes for all of them. Because if you kind of go like... Earlier you were just like doing a 16th note, and then all of a sudden it might be kind of weird to do it that way. So I just recommend that you do all downstrokes for this part. Next up, with all these notes, you can incorporate funk guitar elements with every note by laying your fingers flat across the strings and trying to strike either all the strings or just like maybe 2 or 3. So we can practice that with every single note that we do, and I'll show you how to do that as we go. The last thing is the arrangement part of this. So if you are doing then you will start on the 2nd fret of the low E, and then that will lead you to the open E. If you went like this, then you're going to start on this top path with the 4th fret on the D and then the 2nd fret on the D. One last thing to note, other notes that are in parentheses are optional, just based on whether or not you took the top path or the bottom path. And then in particular, we're going to talk about these D notes in a second. To start, we have either the 4th fret, which you're going to play with your pinky or your ring finger. I tend to do this one with my ring finger more. If you took the bottom path, then you're just playing the 2nd fret on the low E with your 1st finger like this. So pick either of these F sharp notes and just practice going across them without, while having all the other strings muted. With the ring finger, I'm laying my other fingers flat. And then with the 1st finger, I'm just not barring, but I'm touching all the strings with the 1st finger. Then moving on to the E note. For this, you're just going to lay your 1st finger across to mute these strings. For my 2nd fret people, you're going to play it the same way as you did in the previous video, where you're using your 1st finger and your middle finger is muting these top 2 strings here. You're on the pad, so that way you can use your 1st finger to mute the bottom 3. Then, going to the D note, the reason why this open string, although it might seem easier, is optional is because in order to get the string muting right, you have to do this. Because this string is open, we don't have any fingers fretting. And therefore, if we don't have that thumb wrapping around, then these top 2 strings can ring out very easily. And you can use your 1st finger to mute the bottom 3. But with how fast this riff goes, however it goes, it's just a lot of movement to incorporate just to get one quarter note in there. So that's why I recommend that you use your pinky to play the 5th fret on the A string, which we did in the previous video as well. Then you can either shift with your pinky down to the 4th fret on the A string, or you can use your ring finger for that part. Then we're going to the 2nd fret on the A string. And to mute that, you can take your middle finger, lightly touch the low E. And then it's the same thing as when you were playing up here. Just lay the finger kind of flat to get those strings muted. Then you'll have to stretch to go back to the 5th fret. You can kind of like stretch, kind of shift a little bit like that. And then both of these are kind of optional. And the reason why is because what's really cool that the bass does is it does an octave jump. So it goes, which is a really nice cadence to bring you back to the 1 chord. Or you can just do and go to A, or you can do like that. So either of these ways to do it is fine. You can start on the higher one and then go to the lower one like in the recording, or you can go low to high. But but I don't like that way as much because it requires a little bit more articulation to do that. So I think just this way is easier. So now let's practice going from note to note, muting these strings. So just back and forth from the F sharp to the E at your own pace. We just want the one string to ring out and all these other strings to be muted. That's the funk guitar technique. It adds a lot of percussiveness to the sound rather than just. It adds a little bit more weight to those notes. Now let's practice going from here to here. So like this. Go ahead and play along with me. At your own speed, whatever tempo works best for you. One more time. Now let's practice from this note to this note. Go ahead and join me. The main idea being not only are we playing all these notes, but we're also muting all the other strings. And what the muting allows you to do is it gives you a lot more freedom to be a lot less precise with your strumming hand when you're playing other riffs. And it adds more energy to the riff itself rather than if you were only playing one string. So there's a lot of benefit out of doing this exercise of just muting strings too. So now let's take this entire bar and let's do it together, like about this fast. And we'll just do that over and over again. 1, 2, ready, go. For my music theory and history people, this is a lamenting bass line. 1, 2, ready, go. And this lamenting bass line is now being used in a kid's song, which is cool. 1, 2, ready, go. One more time. 1, 2, ready, go. Now let's practice this transition going from 4 to 2 like this. And you can use either your ring to your pointer, or you can use your pinky to your pointer. It doesn't really matter here. Just make sure that all those strings are muted. Excuse me. Okay, and now we're going to go from this 2 to this 5. Or D note. So a few more times. Last time. And now we're going from this 5 to this E note. So it'll look like this, or like this. Just go ahead and join me at whatever speed you need. It could be faster, it could be slower, whatever you want to do. Last time. And now we're going from this note to this note. You can do that in whatever way you need to. The way that I like to do it is my first finger is playing that high E note. My middle finger is muting the A string. And when I need that low E muted, my thumb is able to wrap around to mute it. If you're having trouble muting the low E as we're repeating this, that's fine, because we're eventually just going to an A chord anyway. So now let's do this entire bar at about that speed. Just like that. 1, 2, ready, go. One, two, ready, go. One more time. Ready, go. And now let's do this entire bar right here. Same speed. 1, 2, starting on the F sharp right here. And to B minor. One, two, ready, go. One more time. Here we go now. On the A. All right, everybody. So this was what I'm calling the pre-hook for the Paw Patrol theme song. See y'all in the practice video.